Okay, let's begin the session. Can you please switch your camera on? And this is Rajan ji. Let's sit comfortably, get back, place your palms together to the center. Gently close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. And breathe out. Again, breathe in deeply. And breathe out. Let's begin with the Om chanting, followed with the opening prayer. Om. Sahana bhavatu. Sahano bhunaktu. सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 your palms together and generate heat. अपने दोनों हथेलियों को इस तरीके से रखेंगे जिससे कि आप हीट जनरेट कर सके. Generate heat. Place your palms on your eyes. Give the warmth of your palms to your face, to your eyes, to your forehead. Gently take the palms in front of you. अपनी हथेलियों को अपने सामने की ओर रखेंगे. धीरे से अपनी आईज को ओपन करेंगे और एक अच्छी हल्की मुस्कुराहट से अपनी हथेलियों को देखेंगे. Namaste everyone. Welcome back in Yoga Volunteers program from Shanghai Online Classes. I hope you're all doing well. सभी अच्छे होंगे. Okay. So मेरी स्क्रीन सबको दिख रही है? You're able to see my screen? Okay. So if I talk about the standing series, I've taken some the reference from the other book, which is from the yoga point of practices. Okay. So, standing asanas. Just a minute, please. Just a minute. सो हैविंग द स्टैंडिंग सीरीज जो स्टैंडिंग सीरीज होता है आसना का, हम स्टैंडिंग, प्रोन, सुपाइन और सिटिंग आसनास देख रहे थे, राइट? सो इफ यू आर टेकिंग द स्टैंडिंग सीरीज, तो स्टैंडिंग सीरीज में क्या है? दीज सीरीज इज अ वेरी पॉपुलर सीरीज एंड हैविंग इंक्लूडिंग द वार्म अप, ठीक है? वार्म अप इंक्लूड करने बहुत जरूरी है स्टैंडिंग सीरीज ऑफ आसनास में, एंड इट हैज टू हैव अ लॉन्गर effect, longer benefit when each individual asanas will be done very steadily. And this is one way to follow the standing series. कि आप पहले वार्म अप देते हैं, वार्म अप होता है और उसके बाद आसनास होते हैं. One can add and adjust, remove or change around the poses as one like, but this order follows well and is a good basic standing series. तो हम according to a person's need जितने भी वेरिएशंस होते हैं आसनास में, उसमें क्या ऐड करना है या कितना धीमे तरीके से आसनास को you are doing the asanas flows on the mat, that depends upon the person's ability and have the uh, responding of your body. How is the response of the body? Each individual asana has its benefits, but overall this series is very strengthening for legs and core. जितने भी इंडिविजुअल आसना सीरीज होते हैं ये बहुत अच्छे होते हैं, चाहे वो आपके it is good for the legs, it is good for the core as well. It increases the flexibility at the hips and is useful for toning the body. कितने भी आप स्टैंडिंग सीरीज ऑफ आसनास देंगे, ये बहुत ही सही रहता है कि आपकी बॉडी टोन रहे, आपकी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी रहे, ठीक है? Here it is written as flexibility in hips. It is all about you're having the more flexibility of the back, and it gives a good way of having it at the sitting bones or the hip or the pelvic region. It is good for the pelvic region to open the pelvic area. Okay. Now, what are the things which needs to be considered? So as it is taken as the specification, so special care has to be taken to the knees and the back. So if you can see, suppose this particular asana, which asana is this? Okay, so having the knee completely straightened, having the back, it is having an effect of the back as well, where your back is also completely extended, your knees are straightened. So if suppose you bend your knees, it will affect your back as well. तो अगर अलाइनमेंट सही नहीं होगा, जैसे इस तरह इस ऐसे एंगल है पूरा इस ऐसे, तो अगर नीज में इफेक्ट होगा या आपने टोज को अपने लिफ्ट अप किया हुआ है, तो इट विल हैव एन इफेक्ट ऑन द अदर रीजन एज वेल, ठीक है? सो अपने आप को पहले पोजीशन करना है. सो पोजीशन करने के लिए आपने ये देखना है कि जहां पे जो इफेक्ट आना है, what areas to be affected, there it has to be proper, so that the asanas are having the benefits that it has to give. Okay. Sequences, having suppose it is the one side Prone Asana, triangle pose. So this is not exactly a triangle pose. You can see that when you have a standing one, whenever you're not bending it down, this is more of the Parshva Konasana. Okay? So triangle pose goes with your one hand towards the ground and the other hand lifted up. But yet we can have this as one side Trikonasana. This can be also taken as with, to move with, having the variation with the Parivrata Trikonasana or the inverted triangle pose. Okay? So towards the other side, when you twist yourself and look towards the back, okay, दूसरे साइड से जब आप देखेंगे अपने शोल्डर को मूव करेंगे, शोल्डर को मूव रखते ही अपने एंगल को चेंज करेंगे, तो देयर इज अ ट्विस्ट एट द बैक एंड सिमिलरली you might also by looking at the image as well, you might also get this that the pelvic area or the hips gets opened, and with that alignment it helps not only the back, not only the arms, not only your leg, your feet. It is a proper way to have the like an asana which is completely including the uh, benefit of having the proper way of taking yourself in on the mat and doing the asanas properly, and will lead you to have a good posture and affect your every area, every region. So whether it's your head, whether it's your neck, so it is going to benefit all of that. So the benefit is going to have when you will be holding it for some time with the inhalation, and as you exhale, now how you're going to release from the asanas. If suppose you have to get down, so releasing from the asanas and exhalation, taking your one hand to twisting back again, taking the hand down, taking your leg in the front, and then slowly getting up. Okay, rolling back, and then that will be the releasing of the asanas from where you had started. Another is into Ek Pad Hastasana, that is the one arm, two leg pose. So similarly, something like it looks like this. Okay, Ek Pad Hastasana, where you are taking your one leg forward, other leg back, and both the hands beside your one feet, and trying to touch your head towards the knee. So that becomes your one of the asana which is effective for your lengthening of your spine, your arms, your elbows, your legs, your toes. The Virasana or the warrior pose. Vir Virabhadrasana is also good for having the proper way that you are able to expand your chest, is able to have a better backbone, is able to have the pointedness of your knees, how your knees are pointed, how how the heels are there placed on the mat, and similarly having the thighs completely your parallel to the floor. So that will affect the way in which you are checking your alignment, and that alignment is very important in the Virabhadrasana. So it's having a lot of benefits with the similar series of the standing series. So this is one of the gracious warrior as well. So when you elongate your arms forward and similarly trying to take your foot completely on the mat. When you take your foot on the mat, you're completely raising your spine straightened and reaching it forward with the help of the hands, and having effect that your core is not touched at your thigh or at your knees. It is just that you are taking and stretching your core region. Okay, similarly with this you can bend yourself in such a way that you move up and balance on one feet and take your one leg for at the back completely raised up, and take your arms completely forward and stretching it forward. Similarly, the kite pose, as of taking and placing both the arms together in front, you can have the arms completely towards the side without moving your arms towards the back side or the forward or the front. And similarly, raising the leg completely back and balancing on one feet. Okay. Optional in this is if you are able to have the dancer's pose, Natarajasana, that will also be good. Okay. So trying to hold your leg with your feet and raising your other arm upside and trying to have a gaze towards your hand. Okay. So with that, it is also a good way in having the standing asana series with the complete stretch that is required, and it gives the more better way of the flexibility. Resting in Ugrasan or having the ferocious pose. So this is something like that you bring the crown of the head to the mat and trying to have both the hands, you can place it at the ankle or the sole of the feet, fixing your both the hands at the sole of the feet and looking down with both the legs completely straightened without bending the knees. If you bend the knees, then this might create a problem that you are not able to hold that pose for a bed in a better way. So this was some of the standing series. Now, if I talk about the supine series, okay, supine series, if I have one of the way of, you must have heard of the horse gesture pose. So the Ashwini Mudra that you make from your entire body, okay. So Ashwini, Ashwa is the horse, Mudra becomes the gesture. So this becomes an asana which is having from the initial position, having the Sarvangasana position, okay. So bend both the legs and fold the legs in the waist and let the thighs rest against the stomach. So you are lifting your both the legs in such a way that you are having all the support of the waist with the help of the hands. Okay. And to give a support, you require to have your elbows on the mat, resting on the mat. So having this way, you are able to have your knees that should be above the face. So you're bringing your knees towards the face and able to drop your knees, not in a way that it is going to the head or reaching to the mat. So in such a way, having a proper contraction and expansion of the muscles and keeping the breathing normal. So you can have at that time, if you hold your breath, it makes a difference that you might have the breath which can be not proper. So the proper inhalation and exhalation should be done. The breathing should be normal while having in this pose. The asana position, one should start to practice this asana when stability in the Sarvangasana is achieved. So when you are able to do Sarvangasana better, okay, so then it will be like if you're having your both the legs upside, you're having the legs upside, Sarvangasana, and then even if you're able to do Halasana as well. So some sort of the asanas position, if you're able to stabilize your legs, similarly in this particular series as well, you will be able to practice and have this asana in with very stability. So as for the position, complete folding of the knees and the hip is very important. So if you're able to give the support with the help of your elbows, with the help of your hand, like both the hands together at your waist, and you're fixing yourself completely so that you're not going completely downside. So it will be having your knees completely stabilized, and similarly your pelvic area, your hips will be also completely stabilized so that you are not able to get down and you will hurt yourself either at the back, either at your hips, or either at your legs as well. So similarly, the calves should touch the thighs if possible. So similarly, since you make a fold, make a fold. So it is like your calf, it is like more towards the upside. You can have both of the legs in such a way that it is touching your calves as well. The thighs and the calves should touch. So in that way, it is another variation that can be given. Releasing the asana position, stop the contraction and the expansion of the anal muscles and strengthen the legs in the waist. Straighten the legs in the knees and come to Sarvangasana position. So similarly, when you have to inhale and exhale, just straighten your legs, and with the legs straightened, with taking your both the legs from which is touching your the calf muscles touching your thighs, just take it away from it and just straighten your legs, and similarly straighten your knees and come back to the Sarvanga position, like having the inverted pose. Okay. Anatomically, it is focusing on the neck. Okay, you have to focus on the neck because your neck should not bend in such a way that it will hurt your neck. The shoulders should be also focused. Similarly, the back and the anal muscles have to be focused. You have to have the awareness of the expansion, the contraction of the anal muscle. What are the do's in this asana? legs are bent at the knees and the knees are just above the head or towards the ears. So taking care of the knees, that how you are putting your knees yourself, is it going towards the head, is it going towards the behind the head and reaching your mat, or is it towards the ears that you are able to you are able to do. So सभी practitioners पे depend करता है कि similar asanas जो हैं वो थोड़ा उसको और challenging बनाने की कोशिश करते हैं, थोड़ा और उसमें there is some sort of experimentation which is done even in the asanas. So it's better not to experiment anything on your own body. So having the things that what are the do's that you are able to have this particular position in such a way that your head is able to, your knees are just able to have above your head only, or if required to give some variation, it can have it towards the ears depending upon how you are able to have this particular asanas to be done in a way that it is not discomforting any of the way and it is not injuring any of the way. Press the thighs towards the abdomen. Okay, you are having the thighs towards the abdomen, so the abdomen is also having a little kind of a stretch it is giving to the abdomen because the crunching of the abdomen is also happening. Okay, so once you take your knee towards the more bending, the more bending of the knees will happen, the more of the crunching will also happen, or the abdomen will be more taken towards your, the abdomen will be also expanded or contracted in such a way. Try and keep the back in a straight and vertical position. You have to keep the back completely straightened in the vertical position. Okay. Try and rest the chin against the chest. And when you have your chin, try to take it towards the chest, like downside, and have that in have the proper breathing and the normal breathing that is completely possible. Okay. So don't is you are not bending the back. So if you have taken a complete way that how your back should look like, it should be straightened. The back should not be bent. If it bends, it can affect your neck. It can affect the entire alignment that you have made in this particular asana. Let the knees come to the ground or away from the body. So anytime if you think that your knees are coming to the ground or away from the body, you have to have your knees completely fixed at one particular thing, that it's although you are taking it just like that without the support. So having that knees not taken very loosely, that it is just you are hanging your knees. Just take your knees having the position in such a way that it is not coming to the ground and it is completely okay. Now move the neck or overstrain it in the chin lock position. When you make a chin lock, so in that way, when you make the chin lock, it should not, like when you take it to the notch of your neck, the chin to the notch of your neck. So do not overstrain your neck as well, because in that movement of the neck or as well. So again, the effect of your spine and your chin will be there. So to have that positioning in such a way that your neck is also bettered, the positioning of the neck, the knees, the back, that should be done. And also it should not strain your abdomen as well, although there is a little stretch at the abdomen. So all of these has to be focused very well. The benefits of these asana are, it strengthens the muscles of the uterus, rectum, large intestine, perineum region is also increased. Okay, useful in preventing the prolapse of the rectum and preventing the piles. Okay, so all of these are the benefits of this asana. Function of the abdominal organs are, especially if you talk about the lower abdomen, that gets improved. If you put the Jalandhara Bandha, it improves the function of the thyroid, parathyroid, pituitary glands, and all of the other endocrine glands are regulated by these main glands. So the overall function of the endocrine system is also improved because you are improving the circulation of the blood. Your way of having the breathing is proper, and you put the bandhas on that, so it is affecting because the chin lock you are making. Okay, there is the Jalandhar Bandh, that is there at the abdomen. There is the Mool Bandh or the Udyan Bandh. Jalandhar Bandh is at the neck. So when you put the Jalandhar Bandh, it helps the functioning of the thyroid, parathyroid, and the pituitary glands, and therefore your entire functioning of the endocrine system will be also affected, because your endocrine system is all about the glands and the hormones that it releases. So it is working on the endocrine system, and thereby overall improvement of your like functioning of your body or the other body system. It helps in that. Similarly, the thyroid glands is improved due to the increased oxygen and the blood, as well as by reducing the excess emotional and the mental stress which affects the thyroid. So when we take too much of stress, mental stress and emotional stress, it will affect your thyroid gland as well. So to have an effect that we are not having so much of emotional or the mental stress, it is saying that the thyroid gland gets improved due to more and more of oxygen in the blood which is being provided. Next is the stagnant blood from the lower regions of the body, legs, abdomen is drained to the heart, thereby improving the supply of the fresh blood to these parts. So sometimes our leg are becoming really stagnant, the abdomen becomes stagnant because of the proper circulation is not there to the blood. The proper circulation of the blood is not happening to these areas or to these regions. It also supplies the blood to the brain, eyes, ears, nose, and the throat. That gets improved and thereby improving the functioning of all of these organs. Therefore, all of the pelvic and the abdomen area circulation, ear, throat, nose, ailments, that gets improved. So when we take our chin down and we are breathing in such a way, so it is also improving the nose ailments as well when the breath work is also done properly. The lung capacity gets also increased as the diaphragm, which is the muscle of the respiration, has to work against the gravity in the posture, and this helps in the abdominal respiration and is therefore helpful in the treatment of the asthma. Toxins in the respiratory system are drained, thereby improving the respiratory system. ठीक है, जितना भी आपका लंग कैपेसिटी होता है वो बढ़ने लग जाता है, तो मसल्स जो आपके रेस्पिरेटरी मसल्स हैं, डायफ्राम है, that gets improved, उसका lung capacity अच्छा होने लगता है, and it helps in the abdominal respiration. ठीक है, toxins in the respiratory system gets drained by improving the respiratory system. So the respiration gets bettered by removal of the toxins. People who have the problem of the varicose veins gets affected. Detoxification of the body due to the improved efficiency of the organs of the body, which leads to the youthfulness and anti-aging effects. So it helps as a detoxification to all the organs of the body and improves the efficiency of every organs in the body as well, and gives an anti-aging effect of the youthfulness. Normalizes the body weight to its effect on the thyroid. So similarly, to have a good effect that your thyroid glands are proper, it will normalize your body weight as well. If your body weight is too much, so in that way, it will affect to your thyroid glands as well. So similarly, it also affect, mainly you will see that more about it gives a stress on your nervous system. It is giving your mind, it is helping your endocrine system, it is helping the thyroid glands, it is helping the proper blood purification and the detoxification, and it is, since it is working on your glands, so it means it is boosting up your immune system as well. It balances all the parathyroid glands that ensures that the regeneration and the normal development of the bones. So because you are taking your hip region, that the pelvic bones and the knees, the feet, your legs, the bones of the leg, it is properly giving the good way of having the regeneration of your parathyroid glands, which is also having the effect on your in your development of the various organs of the body, and similarly it is helping the bones as well. Okay, now it releases the normal gravitational pressure from the inner muscles, which helps with the hemorrhoids. So with the gravitational force, how you are able to have that contraction and the expansion of the anal muscles, that is also helpful in that. Okay, the nerves passing through the neck are toned and the neck flexibility is increased. Whenever you are taking all of the nerves, there are the cranial nerves at the back. So all those cranial nerves which is passing through the neck gets bettered, it gets, it gets a stretched, and when you give the relaxation, it will be relaxed. So the neck flexibility gets also increased. The digestive system is greatly improved due to the increase in the blood circulation. आपका digestion में improvement होता है because it increases the blood circulation and the drainage of the stagnant blood. So sometimes the people might have जैसे इफेक्ट होता है लेग्स पे, एब्डोमेन पे, कुछ ऐसे रीजन्स होते हैं जहाँ पे ब्लड सर्कुलेशन अच्छे से नहीं होता है, तो इसी से आपका डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम भी अच्छा होता है, ब्लड सर्कुलेशन भी बहुत अच्छा होता है। अगर लाइक इट इज द not the proper circulation is not happening, so that stagnant blood gets completely you are getting rid of that stagnant blood as well. Now the pranic flow is harmonized. So the pranic flow is increasing the energy and having a positive effect on the body systems. तो आपका जो प्राण फ्लो या प्राणा एनर्जी है, ठीक है, वो बेटर होने लग जाता है व्हेन यू टेक केयर ऑफ योर इनहेलेशन एंड योर एक्सहेलेशन। आपका एनर्जी बेटर होने लग जाता है एंड इट गिव इफेक्ट ऑन द अदर ऑर्गन्स ऑफ द बॉडी, ठीक है। वुमेन के लिए बेनिफिट्स हैं, it prevents the uterus prolapse, strengthens the pelvic region, it tones the reproductive organs, having the therapeutic applications, any sort of the uterus problems, uterus and the rectal prolapse, any kind of the thyroid disorders, asthma, reproductive problems, headache, hemorrhoids, varicose veins, having the long sitting hours and you occur the varicose veins, prevention of the cough and cold, and diabetes. It helps in all of that and it has the therapeutic applications. Now, there are various precautions and contraindications. So, any woman who is suffering from very severe problem of the uterus should not practice this asana and should be avoided during the pregnancy or the menstruation. Any person who is having the high blood pressure or the brain diseases, any brain surgery, any sort of the abdominal surgery as well, that should be avoided. Should be avoided if suffering from an enlarged thyroid, spleen, or liver. Okay, cervical spondylitis, slip disc, headache, weak blood vessels in the eyes. All of these should be avoided because why eyes as well? Because it is providing the entire blood circulation to the body. So even in the eyes as well, if you have any sort of this thing, any sort of surgeries then that the people get at the eyes as well, at that time also it should be avoided. Duration is that it should be maintained for 45 seconds to begin with and then increase to 2 minutes. So it is okay to have it for 45 seconds, to hold it for 45 seconds, and then you can increase it to 2 minutes. Okay. So 2 मिनट तक के लिए आप इसमें होल्ड कर सकते हैं। होल्डिंग के टाइम पे whenever you put the जालंधर बंद as well, जालंधर बंद के दौरान में नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग रखनी है वो 2 मिनट्स तक, जब तक आपने उस पर्टिकुलर आसना में you are breathing as well and you are trying to hold you are having fixed your body and having only the mental capacity to itself to focus on it and focus on the breathing. Okay, so 2 मिनट तक होल्ड करना है। Variations and tips. One may need a folded blanket under the neck, shoulders and elbows for support. जब भी आप देखेंगे तो आप ये एक देख सकते हैं कि अपने नेक को सपोर्ट देने के लिए, क्योंकि नेक क्रंचिंग ना हो, नेक का अलाइनमेंट डिफरेंट ना रहे, बिकॉज इट कैन अफेक्ट the blood circulation might not be should not be bad. So it has to be that the neck पे एक folded blanket रखें, shoulders पे अपने folded blanket रखें, ठीक है, underneath and elbows के support पे भी आप कुछ ऐसा रख सकते हैं which is not affecting your elbows, क्योंकि the mat, the how much is the thickness of the mat and you are putting it on the floor, and especially if we say that according to the temperature as well, if I not talk about the temperature and it is just the normal one, then also some cushioning has to be given, some cushioning needs to be given to the neck, shoulders and the elbows as well for the support. Preparatory pose जैसे कि देखा था सर्वांगासन या विपरीत करनी या द्विपादा उत्पादासना, that can be also done. फॉलो अप पोजेस क्या होंगे, इसमें हलासना कर सकते हैं फॉर फर्दर वेरिएशंस। हलासना इज प्रॉपर, मत्स्यासना या चक्रासना कैन आल्सो बी डन, ठीक है। सो हैविंग डन chakrasana seems like in a position where you are able to have a proper kind of a stretching and the bone strengthening that happens, ठीक है। So I will not take I think too much of it. Halasana looks like this, as we all know. So this is the follow-up pose. Similarly, the bridge pose or the Setu Bandha Asana. Flow pose. Okay. Matsyasana or the fish pose. Then is the Naukasana or the boat pose. So in the Naukasana as well, you are having the abdominal muscles completely contracted, and it is having the way that how you are making the shape of a yak. Okay. So there also your abdominal crunches happen, and how you make the 45 degrees angle from the floor. See the Sarvangasana, which was this when we started for that. So that was the Sarvangasana, shoulder stand pose. Supta Vajrasana can also be done as the follow-up pose after that for the relaxation. Follow-up poses was also Vipreet Karni, which looks like this. Okay. Now, if I talk about the Prone Asanas, see in the Prone Asanas, something like the half boat pose can be done. So it is just like when you position yourself that you're sitting on your bellies and lift your leg up and your arms up one by one. It can be alternatively as well. You raise it, and it is taken somewhere in the form of the warm up as well, or the preparatory warm ups as well. So having this asana position from the prone position, you can have in such a way that you stretch and place it on your back. You take your hand and place it on your back, okay? And stretch the right hand above the head and inhale and raise the right hand, head, right leg above the ground. So you take some kind of a positioning that where you raise your leg up and raise your hand up. You lift your chest up, inhale and exhale, okay? So asana position, something like to strengthen the spine. So this particular asana is going to lengthen the spine while raising the arm up and leg and the thighs as well as you are able to gaze forward and be comfortable. So when you gaze forward, sometimes the balance might not be proper, so that you are able to get your leg completely not bad. Your leg might be falling down. So to raise your leg up and to hold your leg, to have your thighs as well completely folded in a proper way. Your asana position goes like that you're gazing it forward and having the look forward, and it is also focusing on the spine at the same time. So when you inhale and exhale, you inhale, you raise your leg up, you raise your arms up. As you exhale, you lower your leg down, your chest and the arms also down. So again, holding it for 2 minutes is also good, and bring the arms back down by the sides. Repeat on the other side similarly. So the focus will be on the abdomen and your spine. The more of the awareness comes to the arms and the legs while strengthening the spine. At the same time, when you are strengthening your spine, more and more awareness is towards your arm, towards your leg. And of course, the focus comes to the spine as well, that how is the alignment that is happening. Now, what is the do's in that? You're lifting up both the arms and the legs and maintain the balance and not tilt to the side. So you're not tilting to any of the side. So sometimes if you are having the pelvic bones in the front, or the bones near the belly, near the navel or the belly, so you are maintaining your balance over there. So if some people do it like this and fix their bones, that might give a tilting effect towards the side. It should be avoided, okay? Because it might have a problem in creating an overstraining at your bellies. It can have an overstraining or at the bones as well. Don'ts is like bending the leg. You should not bend the leg just with your knees folded, or in any way if you're bending in such a way that your legs are not straightened. Your legs should be straightened, your arms should be straightened. Benefit if any person who has, as a beginner, as a weak back, the back is not proper and there is a weak back, you always need the support. So it helps in that. It helps toning the back muscles and improves the flexibility. Better flexibility gets improved and it stimulates the spinal nerves, stretches the abdominal region and strengthens the back. तो आपके जो स्पाइनल नर्व्स होते हैं उसमें भी एक अच्छा इफेक्ट होता है, एब्डोमिनल रीजन है उसमें भी अच्छा इफेक्ट होता है. It strengthens the back as well and it decreases the fat. It relieves the mild lower back pain and improves the bowel movements and blood supply to the abdominal region. अच्छा blood supply abdominal region में होता है, bowel movements अच्छे होते हैं and it also improves the postures. Posture improvement भी होता है because you are ultimately aligning your leg, your arm, your spine completely, and it is one of the prone asanas which helps in making such movement and helps you to take a better posture. Now, benefits for women is that it tones the reproductive organs. Women के लिए अच्छा है कि it helps in the reproductive organs. Therapeutic implications में improves the constipation problem, digestive problems, or the mild back pain. Okay, it helps in that as well. Having to see that what should not be done, any kind of abdominal surgeries which has happened or any back problem which has happened, people should take an extra care, a lot of care, and then do this asanas. Okay, otherwise not need not do that, you put yourself at a strain and not necessary to do these asanas. Now hold the asanas for 10 to 30 seconds as long as possible. आप 10 से 30 सेकंड तक के लिए इस आसना में अपने आप को होल्ड कर सकते हैं और जितनी देर तक आप आसनास में 10 to 30 सेकंड तक आप देखें तो अगर इसमें कंफर्टेबल है तो उतनी देर ही करना है. At that time, inhalation and exhalation, normal breathing can be also done. Variations and tip क्या होंगे? Instead of having the arm wrapped behind the back, it can remain straight in the front. So having one arm at the back side and giving support at the lower back, you can have both the arms raised in forward and you extend your arms forward and then gaze at your particular palm. That is a variation that can be given. Preparatory asana can be Bhujanga asana, Ardha Shalabhasana, or the Shalabhasana. Okay, so when you get into this particular asana, so you can do the preparatory asanas as well. फॉलो अप पोजेस क्या होते हैं? नौकासना आप कर सकते हैं, नौकासना या धनुरासना भी आप कर सकते हैं. These are the follow up. So धनुरासना seems to be like this, as we all know, that is the bow pose. ठीक है. Similarly, it is all about the balancing on the abdomen, your knees, your thighs, the grounding itself, the chest, the shoulders. Okay. So any kind of the pull that is coming, any kind of the stretch or the straining that is coming to the chest or even to the arms, because when you are stretching your arms and your legs, it should have a proper effect that not straining on any of the region. Okay. So some sort of the compression happens at your arms and your legs, that should be proper, right? Now having all of these, we have various benefits of Dhanurasana as well. Okay, we all know Naukasana, as we have seen the follow-up pose for this like earlier pose. So having the Naukasana, it looks like this as one of the variation. Okay, the similar way. Okay, arms raised up, legs raised up. Similarly, Nilamba Bhujangasana or the unsupported cobra pose. Okay, so it also goes really well with a stretch at your back, the stretch at your spine and your arms, and similarly in the front chest as well, and the neck, and the legs and the feet. Nilamba Shalabhasana, you can see it here, interlacing both the hands together and placing at the neck so that you give the support at your neck. So, and then Shalabhasana, as we all know, that is the locus pose. And if you give the support at your neck and raise your legs up, your toes up, and your thighs up, okay, at least 30-degree angle away from the floor, away from the mat. So in that way, it becomes that you are able to have all your support being given at the lower region of your below the abdomen and at the sides as well. And you raise your leg up and putting the chest at the on the mat. So from that, it's the prone position which improves your elbows. You raise your elbows up and it benefits the elbows. It benefits the chin because you're putting your chin on the ground itself and only raising up your leg. So making sure that the chin is not put in such a way that it is straining over you, because again, the body weight comes to this region, okay? And also it is coming to the chest a little bit of. So how you are gradually lifting your legs up and how you're balancing yourself, because you're not getting the support of your elbows as well. So here the asana position becomes like that your elbows should be somewhere, should not be on the ground, but slightly above the ground with the arms parallel to the ground. The legs, lifted legs should be straight while moving into the pose and maintaining it. The toes are pointed at the back, the chin should be on the ground, and breath should remain steady and rhythmic. And do not hold the breath while there in the asanas. कभी भी अपनी breath को hold नहीं करना है. Inhalation and exhalation, normal breathing रखनी है. And how you're getting to release in that particular from the particular asana is inhale, and while exhaling with a slow and the controlled movement, place the legs on the ground, release the hands from the back and the neck, and place the arms by the side. So as it is, take back into the prone position where your legs relaxed, your arms relaxed, your elbows relaxed, and get yourself completely back. The back में जो you are having a little kind of the back which is getting flexible. You take your back really straightened at that time. Okay. Focus comes on the lower back, द लोअर एब्डोमेन एज वेल. ठीक है, लोअर बैक और लोअर एब्डोमेन पे आपका फोकस होता है. अवेयरनेस आपकी होती है आपकी स्टेबल ब्रेथ पे. आप अपनी ब्रेथ वर्क कितना अच्छा रखते हैं और कितना आप उस ब्रेथ वर्क पे रेज करते हुए अपनी अपने अपने लेग्स को कितना रेज कर सकते हैं. लेग्स को रेज जितना आप करेंगे उससे ज्यादा आपकी स्ट्रेंथ आपकी लेग्स में भी बनेगी. ठीक है. डूज क्या है? कीप द चिन ग्राउंडेड टू गेट योर सेल्फ लिफ्टेड ऑफ and making sure that your chin is not hurt. Similarly, surface ठीक होना चाहिए. Legs should remain straight with the toes pointed to the back, and one may find that the knees are not bent and the legs look like it is lifted high from the ground. But benefits of strengthening the legs would be minimized if the knees are bent. ठीक है, knees जैसे ही अगर bent होंगी तो आपकी जितने भी legs पे strengthening होगी वो नहीं हो पाएगी. Keep the elbows slightly off the ground. आपके जो elbows हैं वो ग्राउंड के ऊपर की ओर होने चाहिए, लिफ्टेड होने चाहिए. एंड वो कैसे होंगे? जब आप इंटरलेस कर लेंगे अपने हैंड्स को और अपनी नेक के पीछे लगाएंगे, वो नेक को भी सपोर्ट देगा. और सिमिलरली इट विल हेल्प कि आपकी एल्बोज लिफ्ट अप हो जाएंगी. ठीक है. नाउ दे शुड नॉट बी लिफ्टेड अप टू हाई सो दैट वन वुड ऑल्सो लिफ्ट द चिन ऑन द ग्राउंड. अपनी लेग्स को इतना हाई नहीं करना है जिससे कि आपका जो एंगल है दैट यू आर मेंटेनिंग योर टचिंग ऑफ योर चिन टू द मैट and a slight you are positioning yourself that your chin is on the mat, your belly, the lower belly is on the mat, a little bit of that, not just digging it into the mat. या फिर chest region, you are not putting over pressure or overstraining your chest. It is just that you are lifting your legs in such a way which is going to have the alignment proper, and you are not digging it into the mat and hurt yourself. Remember to breathe normally while in the pose, as there would be a tendency to stop doing so. ठीक है. क्या होगा जब आप एक बार इस आसना को करेंगे उसके बाद अगर ब्रीदिंग पे अगर ध्यान नहीं देंगे, आप ब्रीदिंग पे फोकस करके नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग नहीं करेंगे और सिर्फ आसना में रहेंगे, तो क्या होगा? आपके लिए डिफिकल्ट होगा और आप नेक्स्ट टाइम ये आसना नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो टू डू एंड हैव दिस आसना एंड गेट द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ दिस आसना, always focus on your breathing, always maintain the body posture, and have anything soft or cushiony to maintain yourself on the ground. Okay, benefits इसके सेम ही है just as the Shalabhasana. ठीक है, ये एक प्रोन आसना है जिससे आपकी लेग स्टोन होती है, आपकी नीज में इम्प्रूवमेंट होता है, आपके मसल्स जितने भी हैं लोअर बैक में उसमें अच्छा होता है, ज्यादा प्रेशर नहीं होता है. और सिमिलरली आपके जितने भी लोअर एब्डोमेन के मसल्स हैं वो भी बेटर होते हैं, टोनिंग होती है. The pressure that is felt on the abdomen while holding the asana increases the efficiency of the digestive organs, excretion system, and the reproductive system. ठीक है. तो आपके abdominal walls जो है वो बेटर होने लगते हैं, वेदर इट इज ऑफ लार्ज इंटेस्टाइन, स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन, तो वो बेटर होने लगते हैं। तो एनी काइंड ऑफ द प्रेशर दैट इज फेल्ट ऑन द एब्डोमेन will definitely help your digestive organs, your excretion becomes better, and it is helping the reproductive system. For women, it is good for the reproductive organs, for the health of the reproductive organs. Therapeutic applications is the reproductive problems जितने भी होते हैं, ठीक है, वो ठीक होने लग जाते हैं, डाइजेस्टिव प्रॉब्लम्स ठीक होते हैं, कॉन्स्टिपेशन की प्रॉब्लम भी ठीक होती है, ठीक है। Now the precautions and the contraindications are just like your lower vertebra, yeah, like your lumbar region of the spine gets improved, ठीक है। So इसमें क्या है, वो सही होने लगता है, तो उसमें आपने ये देखना है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा आपके एलिमेंट्स वहां पे ना हो, तो आपकी पोजिशनिंग इस तरीके से हो कि इट शुड नॉट अफेक्ट योर लोअर बैक, उस पे झटका नहीं आना चाहिए, लोअर बैक पे झटका नहीं आना चाहिए। Any person who is having the hernia issues or the intestinal ulcers and the other diseases, they should avoid doing that. So obviously, if any person who is having that kind of a very heating effect or the heating inflammation at your stomach, huh? So in that way, it should be avoided with that. Okay. So having all of that during the time you are having during the time you are having all of the like menstruation as well, that also in this particular asana should be avoided very necessarily. In the initial stage, the asana should be kept steady for a duration of at least 30 seconds so as to gain its advantageous effects. With continuous practice, the duration can be increased to 1 to 1.5 minutes. ठीक है, आप पहले 30 seconds के लिए आसना में स्थिर रह सकते हैं टू गेन द एडवांटेजेस इफेक्ट। जब आपको लगने लगता है कि ये आसना बेनिफिट कर रहा है और आप फोकस गेन करते हैं उन 30 seconds में, तो जैसे जैसे आपका फोकस ठीक होता है और जैसे जैसे आपका प्रैक्टिस कंटिन्यू होता है, आप प्रैक्टिस अच्छे से करते हैं आसनास को मैट पर, देन यू कैन हैव इट फॉर 1 to 1.5 मिनट्स। आप उसमें अपने उस ड्यूरेशन को इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं, ठीक है। सो दीज आर द थिंग्स दैट वी हैव। Bhujangasana is also very beneficial. We know the in the prone asanas, Bhujangasana as well. So I will take it this much today, and I will be continuing the other asanas, the benefits and all. So before I close the session, I will complete this one as well. Okay, variation and tips for the asanas for this particular asana. Okay, the locus pose. To focus, maintain on the rhythmic breathing. Okay, your legs should not be very much high, straining your breath and your body. Okay, Nilamba Bhujangasana, having the lengthening the torso to the front. आपका जो torso है वो आपका उसमें lengthening होना चाहिए front से. Think of lengthening legs to the back of the room and stretch the entire length of the legs, but do not tense up while doing so. Practice and patience in the pose is very important. Move into the posture in a very slow and the controlled, systematic way. Okay? So as to keep the awareness and the idle position in the mind at all times. हमेशा एक आपकी जो awareness हो वो किस पे हो? Towards your mind and to having a systematic, controlled, systematic way of having the your breathing and your mind. So beginners should work slowly on improving the strength of the lower back muscles before lifting the legs up or increasing the duration to hold this pose. This would help in minimizing the strain of the breath, and benefits of these poses are minimized if the individual capacity is exceeded. ठीक है, जैसे जैसे आपकी मसल्स इंप्रूव होने लगती हैं, आपकी कैपेसिटी अच्छे होने लगती है, आपको बेनिफिट्स जो हैं अच्छे मिलने लगते हैं. One should practice the minimum lifting and increase the duration instead of maximum lifting. आप अपनी ड्यूरेशन को ज्यादा बढ़ाएं इंस्टेड ऑफ ये कोशिश करें कि मुझे इतना ज्यादा और लिफ्ट अप करना है. उससे ज्यादा ये होगा ब्रेथ पे वर्क करें, ठीक है, और शॉर्टर टाइम के लिए होल्ड रख सकते हैं इस पोज को. मिनिमम लिफ्टिंग हो सकती है और ज्यादा से ज्यादा अपने आसन को ठीक करना है कि आसना सही से हो रहे हैं. द आइडल पोज शुड बी अचीव्ड अंडर दीज गाइडलाइंस. So if I talk about in the locus pose, preparatory poses become Shalabhasana, ठीक है. Ardha Shalabhasana and the Shalabhasana. Follow-up poses Makrasana, Shashankasana, Shavasana. ठीक है? So these are all and जितने भी मैंने ये सब आपको बताए हैं आसनास के प्रोन हो गए स्पाइन हो गए अकॉर्डिंग टू द सिलेबस I have taken little bit more asanas which is not there in the syllabus as well but in the notes I'm going to cover some of the asanas as the prone supine sitting and standing which is mentioned as per the syllabus only ठीक है all right any questions anyone किसी का कोई भी questions है all right can I take your attendance आप सबकी अटेंडेंस लेनी है ठीक है I'll take your attendance so for that please switch on your cameras everyone and give me a moment so that I can just click and click and have your attendance just a minute yes you Rajan ji and Nikhil ji can you please switch your cameras on हाँ 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 okay just a minute all right so let's in the session with the closing prayer okay take your palms together to the center gently close the eyes and having a good seated meditative position. Sit comfortably. Let's breathe in and breathe out. Once again, breathe in and breathe out. Beginning with the Om chanting and followed with the closing prayer. Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चिद् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्तिः 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 Take your palms together and generate heat. Place your palms on your eyes. Give the warmth of your palms to your face. Place your palms in front of you. Open your eyes, get your palms with a gentle smile on your face. Namaste everyone. We'll meet tomorrow and yes, I will be including everything in the PDFs. ठीक है, notes में सब कुछ include करके, ठीक है? All right. Any questions, anyone, for today's class? All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone. All right, Vijay ji.